Hello and shalom, everyone. This is Finding Shalom, and I'm Krista. This is a channel all about finding shalom, finding peace, and my journey towards that. If that's something you're interested in, I would love for you to subscribe and follow along. Hit the bell for notifications. I usually will post Tuesdays and Fridays. I'm going to, in 2022, try to do maybe some additional along with those, so watch for those. But I would love for you to join on my journey. Today we're talking about Word of the Year. And I've got quite a few videos on my past words of the year. So I'll link that kind of playlist down in the description, and you can see all of my different words that have come through the year. But in 2017, I started to study the word shalom for that year, and that has stuck with me. In 2018, I ended up sticking with shalom, and for the very first time did a word 2 years in a row, which is Shalom Take Two, and then I ended up, as it morphed into where I would have the main word shalom, and then I'd have a sub word. So I've done that again this year. In fact, I almost didn't come up with a word because I really struggled the last month trying to find my word. And I think it has to do with the fact that the word that ended up to be my word I didn't want. And so every time it kept popping up, I kind of shoot it to the side and tried to search for other words, and it would kind of pop up, and I would be like, no, we don't want that word. And I'll tell you what that word is here in a minute. But sometimes God brings to me a word that I really don't want, because I would love something like, peace and rest and prosperity. I want something, that's going to inspire creativity, something that inspires me. I had thought about having the word seek because I wanted to just know that I'm always seeking after truth, seeking after God, and I wanted those around me coming to our Bible study and all of that are seekers. And I actually held on to that word for about 3 weeks thinking that would be my word. And then my husband said it was the name of another religion. And I went, that's not what I want. Oh, and you can see my little doggy outside. So let me show you. We have gotten all kinds of snow. Woo! I almost lost you there. Let me show you. Can you see all that beautiful snow out there? It has just been snowing nonstop. And now I'm all crooked. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. Stay. But it's been snowing since Christmas Eve. And then when we finally did stop getting snow, it dropped down to 0 degrees here. And so everything is still there. And we are now getting, we're in the midst of getting 3 more days of snow. So, side note, but where was I? I was talking about sometimes you don't want the word God gives you. I had wanted the word seek, and then my husband's like, that's the name of another religion. And I was like, no, I don't want that to be my word. I want it to be something from God. And the word I ended up with for months has been popping up. But I wasn't listening, or I was shooing it away. I was like, I don't want that word. Anyway, so without further ado, my word, and you probably, if you've watched my last couple videos, you probably guessed it. It is trust. So my first word is shalom again. I'm going to keep with that main word because I want to keep delving into shalom and peace and tranquility and all of that. But then I want a component of that. So each of my years I've had, in the last few years, I had love, because I feel like that's a component of shalom. And I had freedom last year, which I feel like is a component of peace, shalom. I've had, what did I have? Abide. which is kind of staying protected and safe under God's care. So all of my little subwords or my secondary words, my components, are components of shalom. And so this year, trust. And why did I not want this word? Probably because I know this is the one thing I need to work on more than any other thing. It's the one thing that growing up the way I did and having a lot of tragedy and some really big situations, trust became something I felt like I couldn't do. Most everyone who I fully put trust in has completely ruined that trust. And I think early on I was kind of like, well, I'm not going to trust anybody anymore. I am going to take care of myself. And if nobody else is going to take care of me, I'm going to take care of myself. And this is what I need to do. And I have memories of being very calculated as a child of how I was going to live my life and how I would make it better. And when I became an adult, what I would do. And I've got this ingrained in me that I can rely on myself. And I think God is wanting me to open up and put some trust. One of the scariest, trust in Him. One of the scariest things for me is that the word trust makes me feel very nervous. It makes me feel like, what is He going to make me go through this year where I'm going to have to trust Him? And then that's funny because I need to have trust in Him that the word trust will be for my own good. I've been battling, guys, in my own head. But this is why God is so good, is that He wants what's best for us. He wants us to, He wants us to grow. He wants us to heal from our wounds and our hurts. He wants us to make us the best we can be. And we're not going to do that unless we hit the hard things. We can always put the fluffy things out and try to make everything fluffy, but sometimes you got to work on the hard stuff. So that is my word this year. And so the first thing I did this morning, I knew this weekend, okay, I think New Year's Eve, it was like, I can't fight it anymore. Trust is going to be my word. And so, but then usually right away I'm so excited about my word. I usually write down my title page and all that. It's Tuesday and I just did this morning. So you can see I'm dragging my feet here with this word. So I looked it up in the dictionary, and you could have it as a noun or a verb. I found out it's a firm belief in the reliability, obviously, I can't say that word, truth, ability, or strength of someone or something, and also to believe in that person or that thing. But then what I always do, so if you've got a word of the year, first look it all up in the dictionary, and different dictionaries might have some different variations of that. So you can I look up multiple, so I could get different words in there and different definitions. Then I will Google biblical definition of trust. So a biblical definition will also expand that and give you a little bit more. So I thought this was really interesting this morning. The words translated trust in the Bible literally mean a bold, confident, secure, or sure security or action based on that security. Trust is not exactly the same as faith, which I thought it was pretty close to faith. But it says it's not exactly the same as faith, which is the gift of God, and you find it in Ephesians 2:8-9. Rather, trusting is what we do because of the faith we have been given. So trusting is believing in the promises of God in all circumstances, even in those where the evidence seems to be in the contrary. And that's, I think, where I'm scared to death. I'm scared to death for my word to be trust, because I'm scared to death of what 2022 will bring. And maybe that's because of the years that we've had where we went in thinking like 2020. I was just talking to a seamstress friend of mine who does bridal, and we were talking about how excited she just ran across a journal in her or a notebook of her plans for the year and her business plans and what she was going to do. And I have run across those as well for 2020. We thought it was going to be a year of 1920s weddings. I had bought a bunch of wedding gowns that had kind of a 1920s theme, and we had some brides that were really excited to do kind of a 20s wedding theme. And then we knew it was going to be a year of creativity. We knew it was going to be a year of prosperity. That's what the 20s kind of invoke in me, is that, really fun, creative spirit. And so we had all written all these great goals, and here we are looking back at them and going, we knew nothing of what was right around the corner. And I think maybe now I go into my year a little bit like, ooh, don't want to, open that door. Maybe you do that too. I'd love to hear in the discussion or in the comments what you've thought about this year, and what are your fears and what are your worries, and where is God wanting you to grow? What's your word of the year? Are you going to be doing some big growth this year? I think no matter what, we all do a little bit of growing. So I'm excited to see where this year goes, and where it brings us all in the journey of this channel. The next thing I will do tomorrow, actually all this week, is I will start to go into the back of my Bible. In the concordance, there's a dictionary and concordance at the back. And I will look up my word. So trust is right here, and then it goes all through here. And there's just all kinds of verses I can look up. So first of all, it's a dictionary, so it gives another definition: to place one's confidence in, to hope that which has been entrusted. So you can see they give you like these little blurbs what that verse is going to be. So let me just read a few of those. In Psalms 9:10, it says, those who know your name trust. I don't know what the rest of that verse is. But let's see, Psalms 28:7, my heart trusts in him and he helps me. Psalms 37:3, trust in the Lord and do good. There's a lot of Psalms. Let me try to go past Psalms. Proverbs, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Let's see. Proverbs 11:28, those who trust in their riches will fail or fall. If I go down to Isaiah, in quietness and in trust is your strength. So these are all verses I can look up and explore and delve into. And then this year, I didn't bring it out here with me, but I've got now the concordance that I found. I have it in another video that has actually even more. It's probably got, I haven't looked it up yet for trust, but it's probably 2 full pages of verses on trust. And then I might look up other, as we go through the year. This is an all year process. I will probably look up, after I've run out of verses on trust, I might look at ones on rely, like rely on, because that's also trust. Faith, that's very similar to trust. So I might just venture out into some other words and really just delve into that. And then I just kind of pray and I listen for God to teach me things through the year. With the word trust, I have a feeling that there's some events that I'm going to have to trust him on, and I'm going to have to learn. I think of that old exercise where you just kind of fall back into somebody's arms and trust. I have a really hard time with that, doing that exercise. So I think of that, or I think of a little child who is on the diving board. I had a real hard time with the diving board, especially when they would make you go to the high dive. Oh, anyways, and then they'd say, it'll be fine, just jump, you know. Or there's the picture of the daddy with his arms out saying, you know, jump, I'm gonna catch you, jump, I'm gonna catch you. And I think this year is all about me learning to jump and allow God to know he's catching me, to fall back into him, to rely on him and trust him. So it's going to be an interesting year, and I'll probably be documenting it as we go. So yay. But well, happy Tuesday and happy 2022, everyone. Tomorrow I get to meet my first bride. I've got my sewing machine back from the shop. I'm so excited. I'm ready to dig in and sew. This year, I'm hoping maybe I could even do some projects and film it. I'm trying to learn how to edit and all that kind of stuff. So that's what's holding me back there. But maybe I want to do some projects or show people how to do a hem on a wedding gown, or how to do different alterations. So we'll see if I can learn all these things on how to edit videos and all that kind of stuff. And maybe I can get you some fun videos like that. But anyways, have a wonderful week, everyone. I love you to pieces. And see you on Friday for our book. Our study on the Gospels. We're actually going to do where Jesus is starting to do miracles, which is exciting. He's starting to heal people. So anyways, I hope you will tune in on Friday for that. And shalom, my dear friends. I love you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.